Hi everybody from down under. No, not down under from Australia. Down under in Minnesota. That's down under as in underneath the snow. We've sure had a lot of snow this winter, haven't we? We want to wish you all a very happy new year. We haven't had a chance to get with you yet, but boy, I'll tell you, this has been quite a winter. And to think we've only got 5 more days till spring. 54 as a matter of fact. Pretty soon we'll have the sun will be shining and the buds will be on the trees, and so you know, we're looking forward to spring. Anyway, got a few things to talk to you about today. By the way, I just picked up a little envelope down at the mailbox. Oh, this is that wonderful letter that every year we all look forward to getting, and it's from Rolling Hills Manufacturing Home Community. It's from our owners, and it's about our rent increase. Well, we got our rent increase today. My increase is $14. I had talked to another gentleman a few minutes ago, and he's on a corner, and his increase was $4. I think we have a little bit of confusion here. I guess everybody knows that the people on the corners have been paying an extra $10 a month. So I am assuming that that means that they're getting everybody in line to pay the same amount. And that's the only thing that I can think be the reason for this. But other than that, we're all going to be, it sounds like we're all going to be paying $498 now. Okay? I want to talk to you about a few things. First of all, January 4th, our legislature just started. And our new legislature has a new look. We have 33 Republicans were elected to the legislature, and 3, that's right, only 3 DFLers. Wow. By the way, if there's any information you would like, you might want to call the Senate office at 296-0504, or the House info is 296-2146. Why would you call there? Well, since we're taxpayers, we're all entitled to certain information about what's going on in our state, and they'll send it to you either on your internet, or you can have them mail it to you. You can get a membership directory. You can get a complete committee information from the House and the Senate. You can get a complete list of the membership. You can also get the committee schedules. So there's a lot of good information out there that's available to you. Now, we're still working with APEC, All Parks Alliance for Change, and we're going to be working at the Capitol this year, and we have a few issues which we're going to try to work on. Number one, of course, is something called dispute resolution. Now, we had this, this is the bill right here, and we had this last year at the Capitol. We went in front of several committees. We had the judge, Mr. Johnson, came down, and he put on a tremendous presentation, and we think there's a pretty good chance of this passing this year. This is going to be great because it's going to help us with a lot of the issues of 327C, which protect mobile home people, and from 327C 01 to 015. To 1.15 rather. It's going to be a big help to us, and when we have a problem, we're going to be able to confront the problem and write a letter in, and we're going to be able to get something solved with management, and a judge going to help make the decision, and it's going to be done in a very cost-effective way, and it'll be a good thing. There's some other things we're going to be talking about. We're also going to be talking about manager licensing. They're going to try to get something through on this. Some of the parks have people that maybe should not be running parks, and maybe they're not qualified. They're going to have to take a test and prove that they are qualified to run a park. Some other things we're going to be talking about is the Relocation Trust Fund. Now, as you all know, in 2007 we had the Relocation Trust Fund, and we're under that. If the park closes and we're asked to move, We have 9 months to move, but they would pay us about $8,000 for double wide and about $4,000 for single wides. Now, at the time that went through, that was close to being enough, but now with inflation going up and all, that's not going to cover it. We've got to get a little bit more money than that, and we're going to try to bring that up a little bit and get them figures more in line with the actual cost. So we want to tweak that a little bit. There's several things also that we're going to be talking about, issues in our park that, aside from the legislature, there's things that I'm going to be talking to Steve Gould about, and we're going to do some things here in the park to try to make some improvements in here also. Not the least of which is probably the, in my way of thinking, our number one thing would be better signs in our park. We need more slow down signs, children playing. We have a lot of children in here. There's a lot of families have moved in with kids, and a lot of these kids are walking right down the middle of the street right now. And this, you know, when spring comes, that's going to be a no-no. We're going to have some kids get hit. Now, Mr. Rosbaugh of the City Council, he said this is a private property and they have no jurisdiction. I'm not so sure he's correct on that, but according to him, they have no jurisdiction. So they don't have to put in signs, I guess, if they don't want to. But we're going to push that a little bit because we are interested not in anything except safety for our kids. Other things we're going to hope for get done is we're going to talk to them about maybe updating our playground equipment. We still have the playground equipment that I think that was put in here about 1984, and we need some of that to be taken care of. In addition to that, I'm going to be talking to them about another major problem we have in here, and that's with the low parts in the park on certain streets and behind our homes where our homes are sinking away, and I'm going to show you right here. Okay, isn't that amazing? And just like that, through the magic of television, we have this up here. We can talk to you a little bit about these sinking places behind some of our homes. Okay, here's what I'm going to talk about. The side view of Rolling Hills. This is on the east side and the west side of Pearson. Here's Pearson Street. Of course, here's Rolling Hills in the east and west side. And the same with Birch View and Pine Tree. Now, if you notice as this comes down, this kind of a little hill here. There's a little hill here comes down in each one of these streets. Now, I want to talk to you about what's underneath the ground here. As you know, we all have so much problem in the summer with our grass to grow, and I think one of the reasons that we have to give our lawns at least an inch of rain is because the water only goes down a little ways and it runs into a problem, and that's because what's underneath that ground is plastic. You see, when this place was built years ago, this was a landfill in here, and they leveled this off with a caterpillar, and then they would put plastic down. Then they would bring in some more landfill, and they would fill in more, and then they would level it off and put another layer of plastic, and then they'd put another layer of plastic up another 12, 14 inches. There's at least 3 or 4 layers of plastic here. Now, we know this is true. We have photographic proof of this. We've also gone to the county record. We've seen it in the maps. We've talked to people over at the county, and this is a fact. It does happen. Down here, about 1 foot below the surface, is a plastic right here. So when the rain comes down, it just goes down here, and what's going to happen? It's not going to go down. It's going to go right off the edge and right down here. So the people over here on Rolling Hills Drive, especially on the south end, them first 25 homes, that low part, and going on down and probably 3/4 away, this is one of the reasons a lot of these homes are sinking away in the back. And then you have the same thing on Birchview. As a matter of fact, a couple of years ago, we had a case, one lady living on Birchview down in the south end, near the end, about the 3rd or 4th house. There's an empty lot there right now. She had so much trouble, her house started to break in half and the windows cracked. And with the help of the city and some attorneys, they got them to move, and they moved her up on Rolling Hills Drive and paid all the costs. Now, if you have any of this problem and they tell you, well, you're going to have your home leveled, Well, this isn't necessarily true. It maybe need to be leveled, but some of this cost should be borne by the park. Here's a law, 504B-161. In every lease or license of residential premises, the landlord or leaseor covenants that the premises and all common areas are fit for the use intended by the parties. Well, there it is. That's state law. So this ground has to be able to sustain these mobile homes that are putting in here. Now the new one, all these empty lots that are in here now waiting for new homes, before they come in, there's going to be some new laws that are going to be have come into effect, and they're going to be doing some borings, and they're going to probably make sure that they put these supports underneath the homes a lot closer. Instead of maybe being 6 feet apart, they're maybe only going to be 4 feet apart, and it's going to make a major difference so the homes won't sink. But in case anybody has any questions and your home is sinking in the back over here on the east end on Rolling Hills, or on the east side of Birchview, or the east side of Pine Tree, and there's also some other places over on some of those side streets on Angela, and over back in that area, you might want to give me a call too. I'll give you this information, and you may want to talk to your attorney about it. We're going to be talking to Steve about it this year, and it's a pretty important issue, because I'm sure you don't want your homes to sink away, and in the spring you have frost and it raises it up, and then as rains come in the spring and it sinks away, so we've got a problem. Anyway, that's about all I've got to talk about right now. I know it's been a long winter. Like I say, we got 54 days left, and keep smiling, keep your head up. In this spring we're going to have a meeting, and we'll be glad to talk about a lot more of these issues. If anybody would like to give me a call, and you can take a ride with me, we'll go over to the Capitol. We're going to be doing a little lobbying over there for these bills. I'm going to be doing a little, maybe talking in front of the lobby, at the lobby a little bit. And so everybody, we thank you, and it's been good talking to you again. We'll see you this spring.